Hey guys, my name is EpicMelon and welcome to ZeroMana. In the previous video, I attempted to buff a minion in my hands to the biggest amount possible, and although we got pretty far, some of you guys came up with even better methods, which I want to showcase in this video. If you haven't watched the first, I will try to link it both right now in the top right corner of the screen and in the description below. At the end of the video I will also execute what I think will be the best method and test out if we will beat our previous record of 870. First off, Max, Glob da Blob, somebody from Russia, Reddit user Mighty1920 and probably many more came up with the fact that you can just cheat this entire challenge by using the minion Blade of Cafoon. First you would use Divine Spirits to create a minion in the billions, and then you use Blade of Cafoon to transfer those stats to the Cafoon in your hands. Since this would kinda ruin the idea behind the entire challenge, we should probably rename the challenge to Biggest Non-Cafoon Minion, because we will never be able to beat the Blade of Cafoon and Cafoon combo. Another discussion was about using a Bran and Shadowcaster combo, brought up by the Reddit user Magmite. The first idea was to use Donhancho, but the problem with this, that Arnoud Emus brought up, was that Donhancho will of course also buff the other minions in your hands. That's why the second iteration was to use Grimeseed Outfitter instead, since that will buff all minions in your hands. The +2/+2 per minion was the same as Smuggler's Crate though, so that really wouldn't make a difference. But then Sly for Mini came up with another crazy combo that goes as follows. First you would need to have a Shadowcasted version of Coon and Nosdormo, and also have a Caldera Drake on the board after having played Rasa the Unchained. And you have to have obtained the Mage Hero power from Finley. After you've done that, you could do the following sequence. You would first play Grimeseed Outfitter, then Shadowcast that, then play 2 more Grimeseed Outfitters, then Shadowcast the Shadowcaster, then Shadowcast the Grimeseed Outfitter again, then play the Grimeseed Outfitters, then play Coon to refresh your mana crystals and start all over again. While doing this, you would need to continuously use your Mage Hero power or any other that does damage to kill off your own minions and make space on the board to play more minions. Sometimes you will need to use Nosdormo to reset the turn timer, using an interaction with that minion that when you kill him, the timer gets reset. If you do all of this, that would mean you could infinitely buff your own minions, making you able to buff a minion in your hands into the thousands and way past my record of 870. However, there are a few problems with this. First off, like you might have noticed, this combo needs class cards of 5 different classes, and that's not easy to obtain. You need crazy RNG with a lot of different cards to achieve it. Secondly, this combo is quite time inefficient. If you would just want to take this challenge on in theory, it's definitely pretty good. But if you think about it, for every +2/+2, you would at least take on average 10 seconds. Let's say you just wanted to beat my record of the previous video, it would take you 72 hours of straight buffing after grinding for the insane RNG to obtain the class cards. And 72 hours is just for 870 stats. Let's say you were aiming for about 3000. That would take you about 10 days of pure game time. I think this strategy is awesome in theory, but unfortunately impossible in practice. Next up, we have another strategy that Mighty1920 came up with. His idea was to use Bran and Unearthed Raptor to copy the death rattle of Shaky Zipgunner, and then copy the double death rattle from that raptor with another raptor, then shadow step the previous raptor to repeat the cycle. This would lead to exponential growth, which would mean billions of stats. When I saw this I was blown away and thought somebody finally came up with the ultimate strategy. But then another Reddit user, Maika Leitinen, replied with the fact that raptors apparently have a limit of about 16 death rattles. I didn't know this and wanted to take this to the test, but as you guys can see in the clip here, unfortunately there is indeed a limit. The final strategy I saw come up was another take on the Bran and Donhancho combo, posted by user Sekilganon and Ffoxty. Their idea was to use Summoning Portal and Shadow Step to be able to repeat this combo 10 times a turn. You would first duplicate the Shadow Step spell 9 times using Lorewalker Joe, then play the 2 Summoning Portals and Brent Bronzebit to finally be able to replay the Donhancho 9 times a turn, for +90/+90 every single turn. That sounds awesome, but to achieve this combo is actually quite difficult. You see, Donhancho, Summoning Portal and Shadow Step are actually from 3 different classes. In the game you can of course only have 2, so the first class cards you will need to obtain via other ways. Normally you could do this via the tri-class discover cards, but all needed combo is also spread over 3 different clans. The way of fixing that Sekilganon came up with is using the GVG minion recombobulator to try and get lucky and get Donna Cho from recombulating another 7-drop. The chance of that happening is about 2.5%, which is doable if you shadow step the recombulator a bunch of times. I wanted to do this all in standard though, so I came up with the method of using Summoning Stone combined with the spell Sprint, to try and get the combo that way. I really like the sound of +90/+90, which is 3 times as much as our previous +30/+30. So I decided to take this theory to a real game. We got kinda lucky and we got Don and Joe to come up in about the 10th minion we summoned. However, we did run into one problem, and that is you don't have enough time in one turn to resummon Don and Joe 9 times. As you guys can see in this clip, I was only able to shadowcast him 7 times, resulting in +70 stats. This is still more than double what we did last time though, and although the combo took a lot longer in the game to set up, here's the timelapse of the rest of the run. As you guys could see, we managed to get the Stonetusk board to a 1671 minion. That's almost double what we got before. This is really far from the optimal draw and RNG though, because that would lead to a total of 2600 stats. But I'm really happy with what we achieved. Shout out to Sekilganon and the Foxy for the awesome strategy, and I also want to thank all of you for the amazing support on the first video. I definitely plan on making a lot more of these videos, so if you have any ideas of challenges we could take on, be sure to post them in the comments. If we end up doing the one you suggested, I will definitely credit you in the video. If you still know an even better way of achieving the biggest possible non-Kafun buffed minion, be sure to tell me. If there's a strategy that can reliably beat this one, I'll definitely check it out. But for now, thanks for watching. If you liked it, consider liking the video, and if you want to see more, maybe consider subscribing as well. But for now, goodbye.